There we go. Now we're back on. That took extra time. I apologize.
Hello.
So, we are back at the fort. Umlaut and Beans are hunkered down by the fire with cold and injuries respectively, and as Arland scrambles to get all of his dropped pots and pans off of the trail behind. Arland, I think as you're out there, right? You can see kind of to the north, northeast, that Nissel is ranging further with those Rust brothers, but between them in the distance and you, where you're at, you can see some of the fallen Rust brothers that he's knocked off of his horse, off of their horses, struggling to their feet. They're still pretty far off, right? Because that running fight is a pretty good distance away at this point.
Okay. I will snatch up the last of my pans and I will run back into my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And as I am clipping them and hanging them back up, where they go, I'll look at Beans and go, where'd they keep all their shit?
I don't know, where did they keep all their shit? Do I know that is a good question.
Yeah.
I think it was where you were locked up, actually.
Yeah, I'll actually.
It locked me up with all their shit.
Yeah. Ignore all of the tokens around. I'm not gonna deal with that. I just wanted to be illustrative. So this northern section of building is still the roof and stuff is still intact. There's to the south this little area right here, the walls are still there, but the roof has collapsed in, right? And then that northeastern tower is still standing, but chunks have fallen out. They just kind of used it half-assedly as a watchtower, although this was never intended to be anything other than a relatively sheltered place to camp for a couple of days. So they didn't worry too much about it. But
we found our keep, guys.
I mean, it's a candidate. It's a possibility.
We just got to clear it out first.
And earn a bunch of money, a bunch of money.
I'm sorry, did you say where their stuff was kept, in which area?
At the north.
Yeah,
room?
it's in this northern section.
So I'm gonna rush out to Tornald first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, sorry, buddy, and I'm gonna start rooting through his pack for anything that looks like a powder or a plant or anything poisonous. And I'm gonna, if I can find any, I want to go shove it in their food.
You used up all of your supply when you had it.
I did.
Yeah.
I got high on my own supply. Sorry.
Never a good idea.
Look where that got me.
Right? Yeah. Burned.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll say, shit, and then I'll run and up to their stuff.
Okay.
And see what I can see, what they've got.
Okay. You're gonna make me roll on some tables here.
I am.
let's call this. So, most of the gear here, there's, we'll call it 2 units worth of food. That's like packed up and stored here. They may have other stuff on them, or like in their saddlebags or something. But what's actually here are a couple of units worth of rations. And as you kind of rifle through, the most valuable stuff is you find like there's a couple of like sacks of various like sundries that are in here. There doesn't seem to be any particular like heavy organization here, right? Like they just kind of took the stuff that they had and like piled it in here. It's mostly like packs, right? Like they keep some stuff in their saddlebags and some stuff in their packs. They don't have a wagon or anything.
Okay.
But you do find a couple of sacks among their possessions with about 12 copper coins.
Okay, I snatched those up. And then also in the search, I'm literally just dumping shit out onto the ground. And when I'm done picking up, I'm stomping up in the dirt. And then when I'm done with that, I run back out to Uma and say, "You warmed up yet?"
Yeah. Umlaut, would you make an endurance roll? You get a +1 bonus for having the sleeping fur around you.
And +1 for being by the fire now?
Not a +1 for being by the fire, because that's what's giving permission to
Fire just gives him the roll. Gotcha.
right. And this isn't about whether the cold gets worse. It's about whether or not like you can sufficiently get like circulation flowing and you are warmed up enough to like.
Where is that? It's on strength.
Yeah, it's under strength.
Let's push it. Yo, so worth it.
So
I am about to be an all-one character. Just one's down the line.
Yeah. That cold is just not like, it's like seeped into your bones and it's just not letting up. We don't have to worry about the effects of the cold yet because it hasn't, like, I know we've been playing for a bit, but it hasn't been an hour. But yeah, like, Umlaut still needs some time.
And I'm guessing we don't have a lot of time.
No,
Uh,
because like those guys that you saw standing up, their horses like are still like kind of wandering in the area. I mean, they're animals, but they're trained at least, so they didn't just like run away and leave them. Like eventually, they will be able to get up and gather their horses and come back this way.
not Uma. Arlo says, I have an idea, and he kind of like goes to the fire and starts like digging some stones up, kind of at the edge of it. He's kind of, they're not gonna burn anything, but like he kind of juggles them over, and starts sticking them in Umaut's pockets.
Okay.
And then once he fills those up, he's like, all right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Okay. Do you like?
Hey, Sean, are there horses still left there since a couple of the guys were dead?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, because they literally couldn't, like.
Yeah, they couldn't take those other 2
there's
horses.
there's actually like
3, right?
Well, there should have been
There's
3.
the injured
there
guy
was
and
2
dead
left.
guys.
There's 2 back there because one of the horses is dead. Like one of the
that's
horses
right.
broke its leg.
Yeah.
And then like 3 of them couldn't go because 2 of them were dead and one had he had a bum ankle.
Right. So there's 2 horses. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 2 horses left.
Do you know how to ride Umlaut? Not even just like basic go that way on a horse.
I mean,
No.
if there's nothing like, if you're not in a like stressful situation, you can just ride a horse, right?
Yeah, just
Sure.
trot out of here, buddy. Just trot out of here.
Yeah. I mean, it's really only bad if, say the guys that Nissel knocked off of their horse start coming back and you have to deal with
Right.
them, then it might be a problem. But it's not a problem yet.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess I mean, is this whole warm stones in the pockets thing gonna?
I was gonna say
When I get away from the fire, how's that feeling?
yeah, like it's still pretty cold, but I was gonna say like it's a good idea, and I think it's a good enough idea that like maybe Arlen could make a healing check and
Yeah.
see if it's enough to at least like buy you the time to like keep the effects at bay.
Can I get a helping die from the thing that Beans put around him still? For the warming effect?
From the cloak thing or the
No, because that's not gonna like
Sleeping fur.
yeah.
So I've got the sleeping fur over me, and then the warm stones in my pockets inside the sleeping fur.
Yeah, like it's like you just went sledding, right? Oh my god!
What the? Can we reset
F
the
them
internet
dice.
real quick before we continue this game? Somebody reset the internet, please.
As part of this, Arlen's gonna reach into his kitchen and pull out some just random spices, and he just like grabs Umlaut's cheeks and squeezes them open. He's like, "This will help." And just shoves like cinnamon and pepper and some other stuff. Like
That's not how anything works.
He's like, "This will warm you up," and he just shoves it in and he pushes the roll.
Wait, do you have any like cooking sherry?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I'll do. He'll give you cooking sherry.
Yeah, just like alcohol that warms you up.
He got a 1.
You got a 1, or sorry, you got a success. It's really unclear if it's the stones or the fact that like he had like cooking liquor on him, but it's gonna be enough to like at least get you up and moving.
Right.
I'd like to say too that part of the empathy damage is of course from panic of helping my friend, and part of it is because like when I take the cooking sherry back, I chug a bit of it too before I put it away, just like out of nerves.
Yeah. Like it's like everybody's Julia Child right now.
Oh,
Hello.
That's Mrs. Doubtfire.
damn it!
Does this mean that we're going back to that goddamn town again?
I mean, we were gonna go back to crossing anyway, but yeah.
We're back.
Okay, so yes, and there, like I said, there are 2 horses there, so like you have horses that you can just get on. Nissel. Actually, before I bounce back to Nissel, is there anything that Beans wants to do as like Arlen's trying folk remedies and settling on alcohol to solve his problems?
I mean, all I really had was that fur.
Okay.
The only thing I'm good for is shooting things and lifting people up, and I have a bad back now, so I'm gonna not push my luck.
You can lift us up in other ways, Beans.
You
can lift our spirits.
I was like, I saw when you made handed me this character, and I was like, it's 52. Like, no, that's great. Like, cool. Like, make the old guy. That's great. I didn't expect to be like, oh no, I'm totally gonna give you the old man bad back right away. That wasn't my plan, but
it's
appropriate. This game is a lot of just fucking head shaking.
Right.
And a lot of zeros.
It's
for some
been
reason.
rough, and I'm sorry. I'm entertained, so that's really what matters.
At least someone is.
Dinosaur a-holes.
None of us has technically died yet. I mean, this session.
This
Right,
session.
right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just glad I didn't die in a shorter time than it took me to make the character. So
That's
Yeah.
I mean, that's really how we should be measuring success, right? Did
Yes.
you get to play the game longer than it took you to make the character?
yes, I didn't like break my back so much from lifting up umlaut that I'm like, oh, I'm dead.
I am immediately died from trying to help you.
Yes.
All right.
I'd like to retire this character now. Can we bring in a new one, please?
Yeah, we hoist Umlaut on a horse, and I gotta feed you less carbs, Umlaut. And then I climb up behind you.
Nice.
Actually, no. I'd say I'd steer the horse because I have a higher empathy, but right now I only have an empathy at 2.
Y'all are in great shape. It's fine. It's fine. So Nissel,
Yeah.
you're skirmishing with these guys, right?
Yeah.
And you glance over your shoulder and you can see, as I was describing to Arlen, but you're seeing this from the other side. So there's the guys
Right.
that are like trying to catch you, right? And you can see like the Iron Guard like has his sword out now and he's standing in the stirrups, and like leaned forward like trying to spur his horse to catch up with you. The other the last remaining, because there's just the one other Rust brother that's still a horse at this point, not a horse, but you know, on
Yeah,
his
I
horse.
understand. Yeah.
And like he kind of slows back a little bit, so he hangs back from the charging. They're still moving forward, but you can see like he's got one hand in the air and he's like making some gestures. They look a little awkward up on horseback. And then past them, you can see that one of the guys that you like unhorsed earlier has like managed to like grab the reins of his horse, and he's trying to get remounted. You don't see any of your companions at the moment. Like the last time you saw them, they were up on the hill and you could see them like moving, and then you kind of lost them.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
Well, man, this just makes me hate the Rust Brothers more. But I'm gonna have to shoot the fucking horse. The knight on the horse. It's like, I'm a super badass. I want to shoot his horse.
You want to take out his horse?
I want to take his horse out.
Okay. Cool.
That's the plan.
Nissel, you monster.
Yeah, it's only gonna get worse from here. Close your eyes, Arlen. Close your eyes and your ears.
Earmuffs.
It's about to get really ugly. Hopefully, unless if I roll poorly. Well, it's still only at fuck.
Oh my god.
I have so many dice I roll. None of them did anything for me.
You can push, but if you push, that will break your bow.
It will. Yeah, your one skull is on your gear die. So you can push it, but your bow is guaranteed to break.
But with the luck we're having today, it's probably not going to help.
Oh, No, I really want to do it though. Okay. Oh shit. No, I won't push it. I
Okay.
won't push it.
Go ahead and make your roll for arrows.
I feel like this is gonna go poorly now, but let's hope for the best. Hey, okay.
Hey,
we're
you're good. You're good. Still got arrows in the quiver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your shot goes wide. You can feel like that your bowstring has gone like loose. Not useless, not yet, but you're like,
Right.
oh fuck, something is wrong with my shit. And like dudes closing in like pretty quickly. What would you like to do at this point?
I mean, the issue is that these guys are all still alive and being all problems and stuff. And the rest of my team isn't doing so hot at the moment. Is the question, do I want to continue to engage or do I want to try to flee? Is that the question?
I'm like literally my question is, paint me a word picture about what Nitzel is doing.
Okay.
I mean, we all know what the circumstances are, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
pretty clear that like you've kind of pushed the like harrying them and keeping them at bay. Like you managed to keep it up for a while, but like they're not giving up is the problem.
Yeah.
And-
They keep coming.
Yeah, and you're like, if you roll another skull on your bow, like chances are it's gonna break. And also, like, there's dudes that are getting back on their horses, and they probably won't come after you, but they'll probably go after your friends. So I'm curious about what your priorities are. Like, do you want to abandon the guys that are chasing you to like try and go after the guys that are going after your friends? Do you want to try and like ride faster to like, you know?
So the other ones are obviously going the other direction then?
Yeah, they're too far back to be able to like effectively catch up with you, right?
Well, then if they are not completely mounted and on horseback, Nissel would dig in his little heels into that horse and make a hard turn to zero in on those two that are trying to get back on their horses.
Okay. Cool.
Since they're the most vulnerable and the other ones haven't quite caught me, but I understand that the
Yeah.
one guy's catching up, so.
Yeah. So okay, if that's the case, then this is really about like you controlling, like getting your horse to keep pushing, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at animal handling probably. I don't know if any of your talents give you bonuses or let you spend willpower to do cool shit.
The Path of the Companion does, but that's only when I've broken. That's only when I've messed myself up.
Do you just have it at 1?
Yeah, I just have that one right now. All right. So yeah, I think I just have a 3 now. Nope, I don't got anything that I can see.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Don't screw me. Why?
Well,
Why?
that's no successes, but no banes. Like you head in that direction, right?
Right.
But that iron guard fucking just like like he makes the turn too. And you see him. They really are trying to murder you. The dice.
I'd like to push here. I think Nissel is maybe starting to feel a little concerned about the situation. And as he's holding on to the horse's mane, he leans into its ear and he whispers to it, "Show me that you're a fucking wolf." and then he hopes that this works.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
And no Banes.
No Banes. Yeah.
Okay, finally.
That horse like fucking puts its head down like a goddamn like it was fucking secretariat, right?
Yeah.
And just
the moment the horse starts taking off, Nissel starts howling at the top of his lungs.
Yeah, and you can see that the rider behind you like starts like shrinking back into the distance, and then like pulls his horse back, because if you ride a horse too hard for too long, they will just die of exhaustion. Right. Like horses will just die underneath you. And
so Nissel, roll for dying of exhaustion.
The horse tumbles.
I wasn't gonna get quite there yet, but yeah, it, like when you rush up to those guys, is it just about disrupting them, like spooking their horses and startling them, or like?
Depending on their positions, if they're like getting on the horse, then he'll directly I'll just run straight into a charge attack.
Oh, okay.
If they're not on the horse, then it's about getting those horses out of there.
Yeah, they're not quite. It's like they're just starting to get like their horses, and they're injured, right? Because you hit them with arrows. Right. Yeah. And they're like kind of trying to get the horse calmed down enough, and then you're just like running through them. I don't think that there's any like question of damage here, but like it's enough to like force them to like stagger back, and the horses spook and like bolt some. And then I think as the rest of you are like getting umlaut and Beans like on the horses, on the remaining horses, like you hear the unmistakable goblin howl of fucking Nissel, and it's getting louder, so you at least know he's coming in your direction.
Guys, I think there's a goblin coming.
There is. He's our friend. He's our friend.
That's our goblin.
Okay. I put my bow away.
Yeah. I think Nissel, as you like, as you're cutting through, like the fort is right there, right? And I think the others probably get mounted. I'm gonna move back to the map for a second. And ask you this question.
We have our archer friend climb up in that tower and shoot people.
So you're here at Wolf House. Once you're all mounted, like what's your plan? Are you like gonna try and book it back to Crossing? Are you gonna try and like cut across unknown territory to one of the there's two villages not terribly far away?
Do we have to leave the hex to escape them?
Not necessarily. I'm just curious about like you can like try and find a hiding place in like within the hex, right? There's space to do that. It'll take a roll.
Suggest that
probably like survivalist or something to find a good hiding spot.
I would recommend, if at all possible, getting the heck out of here and going to Crossing, because like Umlaut's in bad shape, and Beans for some reason is also in a little
I kind of looked him up and down. Umlaut, do you have any critical conditions, or is it just stat damage?
Just wear and
you're-
tear.
You're muted.
Just that.
I kind of look him up and down and go, he'll be fine with a night's rest. Just get him on.
Yeah, we need to
bed.
get a night's rest at first.
There is that.
That's still a problem.
My only worry is if we beeline straight for crossing, they're going to follow, or they're going to figure out it's there, and the Rust Brothers are going to descend on crossing. And we just liberated
Have you
them
ever
from other
thought of
oppressors.
putting the people of crossing up on the roofs and shooting them with arrows as they come in?
We've killed a lot of people.
I mean, we've done that before.
Coincidence. That's just what I was thinking we should do.
Yeah, I like. There's a point where you figure like if the villagers are like, "Oh, you're coming back and telling us we have to get back on the roofs now," like, at what point are they going to be like, "I'm sorry, you just why didn't you just keep going?"
Why didn't you ride the other direction, assholes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that that's what would happen. Like, it just
This
We
time.
also freed them from slavery.
oh yeah
Or possible slavery.
yeah.
More
Yeah.
slavery?
I'm
Double
just saying
slavery?
eventually people will figure out that like, hey, whenever these people show up, things get really complicated.
True. Perhaps we should just go hide in the forest. What madness drove them into Dankwood?
But they're
They were looking for the memes, the dankest memes.
The dankest.
we injured quite a few at this point. If they came back, we might be able to finish them off. But the problem is that Umlaut's stats are so low, and we kind of need him to punch shit.
You got 3. There's only 4 left. There's
There's 2 coming right now, and then
if we can get
we'll probably
away,
with the other 2.
if we can get away and rest, there's only 4 there. I mean, the odds are in our favor more now.
I could kill a couple of them in the middle of the night.
Plus, their food's all ground into the mud and dirt, and if they try to eat it, it probably won't taste that good. So they might not have a healthy meal tonight. They might not get a whole rest.
Yeah.
I say we go sleep and then come back, but that's just me. What do you guys think?
At home in the forest.
Sleeping sounds real good.
If we rested the rest of the period of time, we could probably still launch an early attack maybe before it's like daytime maybe. What time is it right now?
So it's sometime after afternoon, right? We're kind of
Trying to figure
in
out
that
these
like
old
wishy-washy space of like, has a quarter day passed? I don't think a quarter day has passed, like, because third quarter day starts at 6 in the evening ish, and we're not there. So technically, you're still in the second, or the second quarter of the day. It's
Just have so much willpower, and I need nighttime to use it, Sean.
yeah. I think I'm just trying to figure out like, do you want to rely on the paths that you've already, like the places you already know, and like take the safer route? Do you want to try and like move into a new hex, like either hiding out on the way or just like trying to bolt for the next hex and see if you can lose them, along the way?
Hiding from them in this hex is an option, though.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because technically, no matter what happens, you have to make like the find the path roll, like when you cross, like when you try and navigate into the new hex, right? So like, I guess I'm trying to figure out like, do you want to try and do that? Although by the time that you're actually doing that, you'd be moving into the new hex like in the next quarter day, because that's just how long it takes to travel.
You're muted, Matt.
What was that?
You were muted, Matt. It looks like you were trying to talk.
No, I think he was chewing.
Yeah, I got gum.
Oh, okay.
I think I'd like to retreat into the woods and set up camp in there.
Like the woods in this hex are like a different hex entirely.
Like,
If we go to these woods, we still, I mean, worst case scenario, we still might win the fight if we got in a bad situation.
I mean, there's also one more important thing to think of, and like, do you want to try to get that XP for exploring a new hex?
Right.
Or the XP for actually completing an adventure site.
Is that even an XP trigger?
I thought it was.
I don't think it is. Discovering a new adventure site
Yeah, discovering a new one is, but not
or
finishing
exploring it, but because there's no the way that they're set up is that there's no objective like now this one is done, right? Like
Right.
we just kind of follow the fiction.
Yeah, I say we go to the woods, and then the moment Umlaut's ready to roll, we storm the castle again.
Yeah. Like if you try and book it for a new hex, it really depends on like how you want to handle like getting away from these remaining guys, right? Like, do you want to outrun them? Then it's gonna be like rolling for horses, right? Animal handling. Do you want to like try and find a place to like hole up until they give up the search? Then you're looking at survival, and then you can move on to a new hex when they've kind of given up the search. If you want to do that, or like you can do the same things and then head back towards crossing if you want and avoid that finding the path roll.
Like we could go.
Well, it wouldn't be in the dark, but like traveling in the third quarter day.
Maybe we could go northeast to this unexplored hex to throw them off, and then once we rest, we travel back through explored hexes back to crossing. We got 12 copper. It's not a lot, but it might get us some supplies to follow the druid south. Unless you guys think we stick around and there might be more treasure in that site.
That site is crap. There's nothing there but bad news at this point. We got a fistful of copper for all of our trouble.
How
There's
much?
nothing to come back for.
Eventually, we're going to have to stop turning tail and running every time we run into a problem, and we're going to have to dig in and fight to get some treasure.
Ornald didn't turn his tail and run. Look what happened to him. He died.
Is there any roll that Nissel has to make to start removing the dead heads?
Wait, what do you mean? Like
the heads of the dead
He's getting some fresh
Rust
heads.
brothers.
Well, I mean, I guess it's really a matter of like, do you want to take the time? You won't have to roll anything, but like,
Well, if they're discussing, the moment they're having a discussion, Nissel's like, well, I have something better I could do.
All right, northeast. Let's go northeast.
Cool. So, like getting away from these guys. Are you hiding, or are you trying to outrun them?
Knock it out. We're not gonna.
No, we should just try to hide.
Yeah, Nissel says we have to move slowly. It's not.
You could hop off the horses, go hide somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
The horses walk.
What's that look like? Who's going to like figure out a hiding space, and how does that go?
That depends. Is it actually a stealth roll to find a hiding spot, or is it a survival?
I would
roll
say
to
it's
find a
survival,
spot?
because it's not like you're not really sneaking. You're looking for a hidden place, and you have like 3 horses with you now, like between the 2 that you've stolen and Nissel's, right?
This is the one thing Umlaut can still do.
You're like, I could find us a hiding spot.
I can't.
I can help with that.
Yeah, because I can see in the dark and stuff. Does
Yeah.
that help?
It's not dark yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can give you a helping for survival.
Yep.
All right,
Technically,
dice.
everybody could.
Sure.
That's 2 successes.
I mean, that's better than what we've been getting.
Which
All
is
right. Is it a versus roll?
nope.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just do you succeed or not? Yeah, you find like there's kind of hills and like the forest creeps out in parts like into this hex to the like mostly from the north, but you can like cut in there and find just like there's a little overgrown like hollow. It's almost like if you've ever gone down into like a creek bed and it's kind of washed away underneath where there's like trees and stuff, so the tree roots are holding the dirt there, and like there's some franticness, right? Because like until you get under the cover of trees, it's all open ground. And so there's a heavy reliance on like, you have a head start, like they would have to catch up, but they can see you move. And so you can see them like turn and make it into your direction. But once you can get into the woods, and you can just kind of follow this little gully until you're pretty sure that like this little washout, if you can just stay quiet long enough, they won't be able to see you from like where they can still ride. And then it's just a matter of waiting for just a little bit, like, and it's uncomfortable and kind of awful, but eventually, like, you kind of get the feeling that if they were looking for you, then they were looking in the wrong place at this point, and you can breathe a little bit easier.
Yay.
Fucking Rust Brothers.
Those first two were easy.
Right?
Shall we head back to crossing then?
We murdered those guys so quick.
Yeah, and then I guess the question is like, do you want to take the time to move into the northeast?
I think out of character, moving a hex is probably more dangerous than staying in this hex. Just because if we run into a random encounter, it'll be a fresh random encounter, and we will be where the position we are in now.
And that is a legitimate concern. Like, you can just, because you can travel 2 hexes a quarter day, and you can get back to crossing by nightfall, and not have to make any find the path rolls or anything.
I think that's what we should probably do, is just make our way back to crossing now that we're not being followed.
Yeah, that's totally reasonable and fair. And just it helps if I'm actually on the right. Move you back into crossing. I'm not gonna belabor the actual getting back to town part. It's it's another 6 hours of travel, right? That's just how long it takes. So the sun is kind of dipping past the mountains in the far west of the Ravenlands, as you get to the northern side of town, you're welcome like set up rooms. I mean, unless you want to sleep on the streets, and like.
No, Umlaut's by the fire in the inn.
Nice.
Makes sense.
It's also 10 o'clock, which means that it's like midnight at least for Freddy.
You.
So this is a good place to start wrapping up, I think.
We made it back to the main location of this campaign, guys.
We did it again. Never fails.
So lodging, the only mechanical questions that we have left before we do XP are like staying at the inn. If you want to sleep in the dormitory is 2 gold.
Gold?
Sorry,
2 gold?
Copper.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna say no.
Things got things.
Damn gentrification.
Serious inflation going on.
I was gonna say.
Mr. Moneybags with the bed here.
U.S. levels of inflation in the village of Crossing now.
That's our next battle is inflation.
Yeah. So if you want the bunk beds, it's 2 copper, 5 if you want like a private room. Three copper.
Just 10?
What's that?
Is it just 10? Like 10 coppers, 1 silver, or 10 silvers, gold?
Yeah, everything's
okay.
Everything's in 10s.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sleep in a bunk bed. Umlaut. Can I have me sleeping fur back?
Yes. Also, Umlaut pays for Beans' room.
Nice.
Or, bed. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bunk.
It's listed as dormitory, so it's just like there's a room
One of those
with just a bunch of
hostels.
beds.
Oh, much
Yeah.
obliged.
Yeah. It's 3 copper per person. You can get a bowl of stew also for 3 copper, and that just covers your food. Otherwise, you have to make a food roll. If you're like, I'm staying at the inn, but I'm eating my own food, right?
The cost for my horse.
Oh, that is a.
I don't know what they're doing with their horses. I know my horse is getting treated correctly this evening.
Common services. I'm actually looking to see if there's.
Barely squeaked by on both of those.
Damn it.
It actually doesn't list. You know what? I'm not gonna nickel and dime the stables. Because a horse is basically part of your gear, right? Like, things cost enough. You don't need to pay extra for the horse at this point, right? Yeah. So really what you're looking at is if you want the meagerest of like rest and food, it's a total of 6 copper. But you also have the option of like, do you want to go camp out on the street? Well, then it's a survival roll. Or do you want to eat your own food to save the money? Then you're just rolling on your food stores. And that's up to you.
What if I want to go curl up in the shrine?
The shrine isn't a place that you can rest. You would still be making a survival roll. Like it would count as like you either have to make camp or like there's rolls for just sleeping on the ground.
And what's the failed survival in that case do in town?
Well, there's no distinction, right? Like it's not like Torchbearer where there's a town phase.
You get herpes.
Yeah, basically.
No, you just don't sleep, right?
I think so. Like
I think Nissa wants to know if he spent 10 copper, could he have his horse and him treated like extra nice? The horse needs to be treated extra well.
Needs to be called Milord.
Yeah.
That should be your horse's name.
That's a good name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so there are things you can do if you would like to spend more than just like the basics. Like you can get a separate room. That's 5 copper instead of 3, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, then what he'll do is he'll spend 5 copper for Arland, and then he'll throw the 3 in for him and the horse.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, a bowl of stew covers the daily need of food. A hearty meal, which is a silver, covers food and water.
So I spent 8. All right.
So, like, these are...
Arland, you got a private room. Nizzle doesn't tell you about it. He just gives the dude at the stall.
You gonna stay there with us?
No, Nizzle's staying in the stall with the horse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drink my water.
Loud went with the deluxe meal.
Oh, nice.
Sounds necessary for his current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like being in the inn by the fire, you are no longer cold. Like eventually,
Hooray.
it
And the stew.
yeah warms your belly.
Yep.
And yeah,
We get a full sleep and all of our shit back.
yep. Like if you have rooms at the inn, then you get to rest.
Oh, thank goodness.
Rest and
Did
sleep.
you get all your attributes back?
Yep.
All right.
God.
Gonna do that.
And then
And then my broadsword grows back, right?
no, your gear doesn't come back.
It's not. That's not what it does. I thought it did that.
No.
Well, this is a good start for old Beans Morocco. He has 5 willpower now already.
Yeah.
Wrong start.
I picture Nissel throughout the non-verbal exchange they've had so far. He just eyeballs this guy, side eyes him, just like
Oh yeah.
where the fuck did? But he doesn't say anything because he's too busy doing other things. And it's definitely
I'm
has no
I'm side
clue as to
eyeing the goblin because I'm like, what the fuck? You guys are
why is this goblin here? Why was he yelling outside?
yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he live with a horse?
And
You should be grateful
It's-
I didn't shoot you because they said you were friendly. That's the only reason.
It's actually the wolf. We saved the wolf. We just had to shave him.
and before Arlen goes to bed, he's gonna look at like the 12 copper, the whole of the 12 copper in like hands that still have Tornald's blood on them, and is just like, fuck.
What?
Yeah, is there a known god or goddess of goblins that I thought I read about that like they
Is
do
it- don't they-
rituals too?
Don't they worship the moon or something like that?
Yeah, they do
it's-
like rituals at night.
Yeah.
Hey, Arlen, did you went through Tornold's pockets?
Yeah.
Did you find his money?
If I had thought to ask him it, I would have, but in that moment he was just like looking for poisons, unfortunately.
Okay, because he had like 7 silver and 7 copper.
Son of a
Pockets.
bitch.
We can go back.
I could have looted my dead friend for more than I got. from
I
the
really
last
want to go
brother.
back.
So the Night
Oh my
Walker
god.
is the name of the god.
What is it called?
The Night Walker.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
That's how we get rich. We just have Matt's characters die, we loot them. New character shows up, dies, we loot them.
Yeah.
This
We
sounds like
lost money. That trip, not only did Tarnold die, we came out a net negative because we left more money with Tarnold's body.
And you wanted to
Then we
run
made it
ahead
out
when
with.
you wanted to run away when we were gaining ground. We would have woke up the next day and it would have been fully rested against 4 instead of 7. Our odds would have only gone up.
Hmm.
Cool.
That's a word for it.
I gotta fight that night guy eventually.
So, when we the next time that we come back, it will be the first quarter day of the 13th of Springrise.
The Friday. Should we?
Similar. We're just setting up the same scenario where we're like, hey, let's set up a trap at the village because they're all coming back here. We just do this over and over again.
It will be.
Should rename this city to Double Crossing.
Can we just make this our stronghold? It should be our stronghold.
The 13th is Blood Day. That's literally the name of the day of the week.
Oh, Blood Day the 13th. So unlucky.
It's the least lucky.
Except for goblins. It's like a holiday for them, right?
All right. So, XP. Everybody gets one for participating.
Yay.
That should do it for me.
Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map that you had not visited before? Not this time, because
I did.
Oh, wait a second.
Yeah, multiple, in fact.
God
I
damn.
mean,
How does that work?
No.
I think
No.
you should.
So wait a
okay,
minute.
okay.
No.
He had to start with 0, Sean.
We
you
felt as
monster.
though you should get one. We want you to know.
Noted. Noted.
There goes the horse. Now he's got a name and he's gonna die.
Did you discover a new
Like a
adventure
fish.
site? No, you have not. Did not defeat any monsters. Did you find treasure? 1 gold or more?
Nope.
Oh.
Fuck, we're terrible at this game.
Do we think there's a treasure worth 1 gold or more hidden there that the Rust Brothers haven't found? You don't think so?
Do you want me to be honest, or do you want to figure it out?
I don't want to know.
Okay.
No.
I don't-
Arlen is asking, do we think?
Oh, do you think?
Yeah, because that was the question he said. Is like, do we think there's
Because
one
we
gold
never
or-
did go check out that tower.
No, and that tower probably was the best part.
It probably had a really nice rug in it.
At least 2 rugs. One for the second
2
floor and third
rugs.
floor. That's 2 gold coin.
Indeed.
Didn't build a function in your stronghold. Did anybody activate their pride?
I should have, but I didn't.
I needed pride, I believe.
I was rolling so badly. Why does it matter?
Right.
Oh, you used it last time and failed, didn't you?
Yeah, I lost it,
Yeah.
but I don't know at what point mechanically I get one back.
Not this session, because you have to spend 1 session without one, and then you get to pick a new one.
Sweet.
You failed it last session, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can get it back next session.
Yep.
Nice.
Did anyone suffer from their dark secret? That's a hard one, because I'll be honest, I haven't looked at everybody's dark secrets in a long time. Things have been bad enough that I haven't needed that flag to add adversity.
No.
The dice are doing it all.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
they were not your friends tonight. I'm sorry.
I don't think I've
bad.
ever seen it that bad.
Did you
It's crazy,
risk
man.
your life for another PC? Kind of everybody did,
Yeah. I feel
except maybe
Yeah.
Umlaut. Everybody was
I was
kind of
gonna
risking
say,
their
I don't-
life for Umlaut.
Yes. Which is a nice turn of events.
That is
Yeah,
a nice
feels
turn
good,
of
huh?
events. And
Don't get
finally,
used to it.
did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I would almost argue Umlaut gets that one for like finding that hiding place after just fucking everybody getting brutalized and then finally being successful.
I would say Nissel, like
So
leading
for
all the
leading
enemies
them all
off.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, this isn't Burning Wheel. You both can get one.
It's true.
True.
That is true. Yeah, it's not really a vote. It's just like did that
Nomination.
happen? I'd give you each one
Yeah.
for that.
Maybe just for
concur.
not.
If-
I mean, I didn't die, which was really shocking.
I was gonna
didn't
say
get
if
shot
for no
or
other
hit.
reason than the consolation prize of like, Jesus Christ, everything else was not going your way.
Yeah.
And we
couldn't
still
kill him.
survived.
And he still survived. Cool.
I wasn't
Well,
so sure, honestly.
I gotta spend some
like,
XP.
I was not so sure when like Nissel rode off and had his first little clash, and then Umlaut like just straight up froze and
Yeah.
Arlen couldn't move him. I'm like, pretty sure we're all dying. Like it's just gonna be Beans and his new party.
That's what I thought was gonna happen. To be honest,
I'm just gonna loot all the bodies. Looks like today's turning up beans.
Well, speaking of which, I've already got my relationship with you. Beans Morocco helped me save Umlaut. He's a good bean.
Nice. I was gonna say, like, the thing about this game is if everybody else dies except for one person, we get to find out if Forbidden Lands can be played as a solo game.
Well, it's still a duo game at that point because you're involved.
Yeah, but I'm not running the game for just one.
But there are rules for solo play coming with
with
blood marches.
Yes, that is true.
Oh.
That is true. That's because somebody actually has like a podcast, I think, of them doing Forbidden Lands as a solo game. I make fun of
That's
it, but
interesting.
like, I don't really want to like yuck somebody else's yum. Like, enough people enjoy it that it's like cool. Not my thing, but cool.
I mean, like, if you think about like how much fun it is to make characters
Yeah.
and kind of like that, the enjoyment you get out of that, and you just kind of like expand that concept to be like everything else going on, I can kind of see it.
That's true. And like Forbidden Lands in general, like there's enough like procedural stuff that you can be like, okay, I'm going to move into this hex and roll a bunch of dice and like figure out like what happens without it. It's not like Burning Wheel where like the fun of the game is the GM being like, do you want to do that? Like, here's what it's going to cost you. Do you still want to do that? Right? Like,
Right.
No.
There was a point in this game tonight that I was like, man, I wish I could get a devil's bargain. I just kept on thinking like, oh, I could think of a good one right here that would work out.
Now I just want to play a game where like character creation is like a solo mini game, and then that gives you some of your background and like maybe complications and other things, and then
Matt, you're describing Burning Wheel.
but not just life paths, like actually like roll and like the randomness
Right.
and all that other stuff. I
I
mean,
was,
then it
like
becomes Traveler, I guess.
I was
but, you
gonna
know.
say,
Yeah.
Traveler.
Or Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Oh yeah. Well, it
Hope
is.
we're all alive.
It is. Yeah, you've all survived, but also it's getting late, particularly for Fred.
Yeah.
But I know that Glover and like all of us are old people now, and we get tired. But thank you all for enduring. I guess. I
Thank you for
enjoyed watching
enduring.
you suffer, but you know.
All right, guys, I gotta run. I got a pukey kid.
All right.
Oh man,
Yeah.
good luck.
All right. Well,
yeah, see you guys.
take care, and we will see everybody next time.
You will.